Podcast. Hey, welcome to the PowerTrip Podcast. We're your hosts,
Charmaine
and Saquon.
Hey guys, so welcome to episode 2 of the PowerTrip Podcast. If you haven't checked out episode 1, go back now and give it a listen and let us know what you guys think.
And like it.
And comment.
And follow us.
But of course, all at the PowerTrip Podcast. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and here on SoundCloud if this is where you're listening. So, honey, let's tell them about our weekend at the circus.
Okay, we can start there, but it was pretty cool. It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't
what we expected.
It wasn't what I expected at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
Yeah, so it was, like, it just wasn't as entertaining as I thought it was going to be. And we went with my brothers, sister-in-law, my sister, my nieces and nephews. Mm-hmm. And we still had a good time. It just wasn't, like I said, as entertaining as I thought it would be. And I don't know if it's because, like, now we're older.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that, but I also don't know if it's just growing up going to other circuses, seeing
Circus.
other circuses.
That sounds good.
Circus.
Circus. Going to other, circuses.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But, because growing up, I went to Universal Circus, and I also went to Barnum and Bailey. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if those like the top 2 or something like that, but I know Barnum and Bailey is not. It isn't anything like Universal Circus,
But it's still entertaining to you.
But yes, it was really good, and Universal Circus is definitely entertaining to me. It was really nice, and I definitely recommend us taking a trip with them to go see it one day.
How old were you when you went to both of those circuses?
When I went to Barnum and Bailey, I was probably, I was really, really little. I don't.
So like, you saying about a great experience?
No, but I could. You know me, I could remember. Like,
you do have great memory, but I'm just saying, honey. Still, your perspective was different at a younger age.
No, I understand.
And I'm not saying that it's not a great circus.
No, but I could still remember like.
Your perspective is still different, like you said.
Nah.
When we're younger, we see things on a grander scale, I feel like, than we do when we get older.
I understand what you're saying, but you don't think growing up in New York, you don't think the circus was way more alive than that?
I mean,
regardless
it was.
Of, you know what I'm saying?
No,
regardless of what circus it was, if I'm probably going to see it in New York, it's definitely going to be way more people and way bigger than that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it would. And also, like, I looked over at my nieces and they didn't look entertained. They didn't look entertained at all. They were a little bit bored. So they did have a great time, though. They were able to ride the elephants and the camels. So they enjoyed themselves, and it was nice being able to spend time with family. So that's really all that mattered, is just us being together, being able to laugh, crack jokes, and just spending that quality time together.
Yeah.
So that was our circus fun. And then we also, this past weekend, went and saw Superfly. So what'd you think about that?
Superfly was a decent movie.
How would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 6.6.
Okay. Why?
Because I think for me, the main character, he didn't fit that role,
Yeah. So Trevor Jackson, I think he's a good actor. I've seen him in Grownish, and I feel like he plays that part well. I just feel also, like you said, he didn't really fit that part. Like, no. I don't see him playing that, that gangster.
Yeah, and he didn't. I feel like even though it's Superfly, what?
I'm sorry, I was just thinking about his wigs, but go ahead, or his headpieces.
What you mean headpieces? Wasn't it just one?
Oh, but it curled.
Oh, you talking about when he took the shower?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I didn't think that really fit. But anyway, I get the whole Superfly smooth type thing, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I feel like for what the role was supposed to be or who he was, it should have been a little bit more aggressive, you know. And he didn't show any type of aggression in it to me.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the lack of aggression or if it was, because, you know, like, there are, I would say, gangsters, and I can't speak of a specific, like, movie that illustrated it, but that are, like, clean, fresh, fly, but you still know not to mess with them. And they fit that role well. And it's more old school movies that I'm thinking of in my head.
Yeah. Or, I mean, but you think that it may be the act, like, the actions that's going on? Or
what do you mean?
I mean the illustration. You know, the things that's going on in the movie, like to help portray that personality. That personality of the character. Because when you think of this movie, right? Mm-hmm. When he went in there and said all of that to that guy and took his car, mm-hmm. do you imagine someone like with his power actually doing something like that, doing it that way?
Kinda, but then I could also see them having someone else do, like, they'll be there, not really even have to say anything, and someone else just do it.
My point exactly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know, for him to have to go down a whole list of things like that to make him feel embarrassed in front of his
people, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it ever playing like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It was an okay movie. I think that it's worth going to just check it out. You don't agree? Or you agree?
I mean, I say go buy the DVD when they come out. And I still don't even know why they killed Scatter. They should have said what he lied about.
Scatter, he was stealing money. You don't pay attention.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm tripping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was stealing money.
Taking a little by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
Taking some off the top. So, yeah, so that's our review of Superfly.
What about the BET Awards? What you thought?
So the BET Awards, I feel like we're giving everything a bad rating at the start of this podcast. But I didn't really think it was that great. I really didn't. I don't know. Okay, for one thing that really threw it off to me was the people in the background. Like you could just, so someone would be talking on stage and then you just hear people, yes, woo, you right, yeah. And I don't know if it's just because of where the mics were placed or what, but I don't feel like I've seen that or heard that in previous BET Awards. So I didn't really like that.
No. Those people sounded far to me. Actually.
They did sound far. That's what I'm saying. If there was mics somewhere in like the, I don't know, in the air or something, because I was just like, whoa, they were doing a bit much, and
it was a black event.
But that's fine. Like, yeah, and I get that, and that's fun. I just feel like for it to be on TV, usually you don't hear that part of it. Like, you may hear it sometimes, but this time it was like every time someone went on stage, somebody was saying something.
Is it always live?
Oh, I don't know.
So that could be it.
Oh, okay.
I know this one said it was live.
Yeah, it did say live. That might be right, honey.
Maybe.
Yeah, that could probably be it.
Because when they do stand-ups, you can hear people talking.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Who would you say was your favorite performance?
My favorite? Mm-hmm. My favorite would have been the tribute to Anita Baker. Oh yeah,
that was nice. Yeah. It's just something about people who can like really blow. Like, I've kind of missed that in music.
Yeah.
And I feel like
it's captivating.
It is captivating, and it touches you. It touches your soul. And I feel like her and Danna Caesar, they also did a really great job. And I feel like her is another really great talent that's out there. I feel like there's so much great talent out there, but they're not either they're just like underground, or they haven't made it, or they're not, accepted into mainstream. Which, I mean, I guess is fine, because you can go out and search for,
I think
those
a lot
talents.
of people, I think a lot of artists today are being loyal to themselves. That's
what do you
all.
mean?
They're not really signing to labels and things like that. To go mainstream and have those big slots and things like that, they say you really have to kind of mess with the label.
Yeah, to get that.
So I think more people stay away now.
Yeah. Which is fine, because at the end of the day, they're in control of their music and their, what's the stuff they get?
Royalties.
The royalties and all of that. So that's fine. It's just,
it's cool.
Going to search, you have to search for them rather than them getting the respect and the notoriety for their talents.
Yeah, pretty much. It's cool. One day, though, I think everything's going to change back around.
Yeah, the golden waves.
Yeah, that's all it does.
Yeah. And I also do think Janelle Monae had a really good performance as well.
She did.
I liked hers.
Although I wasn't expecting her to perform, I didn't even know she had music out right now.
Yeah, and I still don't know if that's newer music. We're not followers of Janelle Monae. We do like some of her music that we hear if it's on the radio, or, we hear it like that. Well, I do. I'll speak for myself.
Yeah, because I don't listen. I couldn't even name a song right now.
And then she has a song named Yoga.
I was just about to say the only reason why I wouldn't even know her is probably because of Jadena. But I know she was out before him.
Before him.
So, but I don't know.
Yeah. So she had a great performance. And then Ella Mai, I was glad she performed. It just seemed like she... I don't know. I'm not going to say it didn't seem like she was comfortable.
She's new.
It just seemed like she was new to performing. But she's very talented too, and I'm interested to see like what she does with her music and where she goes from here.
I was upset they kind of like cut her off towards the end. They let her ride for a while.
Yeah, for a good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just wasn't a headlining artist, and I think it's because her song was newer.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
So what about Power?
Power?
Yeah.
Power was cool. 50. No, I'm not gonna give the credit just to 50 Cent, but the makers of Power, they're just like they're really good at just keeping you interested and keeping a good storyline. I feel like with Dre, okay,
you gotta go.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're watching a TV show or a movie, I don't know if you guys do it, but I do. And I just sit there and I'm like, honey, this is just because it's a movie. Because in real life, that is not how it would have went. And I feel like that's the case for episode 1. Because Dre, I just feel like he dodged death so many times. Once when they went to the warehouse to go get him. The second time is when Tommy met up with those guys and, arranged for them to snatch him up for him. And then also at the gravesite of Raina when he approached Ghost. And I know in that last instance, that wasn't Ghost's intent right then and there. They weren't trying to get him right then and there. However, if he was in your presence and it's just you and him, I would think you would take advantage of the opportunity. And I'm interested to see, though, how everything unfolds now that he's, got the protection.
Yeah. I guess I know you said this yesterday, but I'm actually listening to what you said. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't have been smart for him to try to fight him right there.
Why? Well, right at his daughter's grave.
Yeah. Because he didn't know if Dre had something or if somebody was with Dre.
That's true, too. That is very true.
So that wouldn't have been a smart move.
Yeah. That's true. That is true. And I wonder if Angela is going to get caught up this season. Because you remember the internal affairs officer, she is connecting the pieces about Angela. And she already went to the crooked cop's house with his, I believe that was his sister or his cousin, and found her business card there too.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that also unfolds.
That is going to be interesting.
Yeah. So I definitely do feel like this first episode was good. It left you wanting some, to know what's going to happen next. So I think the season's going to be a good one. We'll see.
Yeah. What? It was a good episode. Yeah. I know Tariq kind of got me.
Oh yeah. I couldn't believe that boy at his sister's funeral gonna fake cry just so he could warn Dre.
You're not loyal, man.
No loyalty, man. Well, he's loyal to Dre, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that really threw me for a loop, and Ghost is already mad at him, so let him find out he did that.
Right? I mean, like you said, you can tell it's a TV show, because I was surprised Tommy even said that right.
In front of Tariq, yeah.
Like, you're not trying to leave him out of this now?
Exactly.
He's just part of, it's Three Amigos now?
Nah. Yeah, that is one where it's like, okay, this is a TV show, because you could have whispered in his other ear. But yeah,
let Tasha know.
I don't know if she knew they were up to that. No, she did know they were trying to get Dre.
Yeah
she did. You're right. So that was our recap of what we thought about Power. Let us know what you guys thought if you watched the first episode. Make sure you comment below what you thought.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna get into the main
our main topic of this podcast episode.
Yeah. And that's, for the most part, is gun violence. And talking about what happened at the Capital Gazette, newspaper.
So I didn't really hear about this, so explain to me what happened.
Let me pull it up real quick, because I can't, I don't want to mess anything up.
Okay. Well, summarize it a little.
But anyway, I guess a guy was upset with the newspaper. He said that, I guess they posted articles or something like that, and he was suing for defamation.
They posted articles about him?
I think so. I don't really know. I don't really know the details. But anyway, he went up in there and he shot them up. Not all of them. I think 5. It's called Capital Gazette. I feel like I can't get an official article right now. They took real shit. Excuse my language. They just took real stuff out of it. But anyway.
So anyway, I guess the topic that we're going to be discussing though is gun control, gun violence, and I know we kind of had a conversation about this last night as far as talking about what we could do differently, or what do you think the law should be? Because I definitely don't, because I know especially with the mass shootings in schools, that's becoming very prevalent. And
so let's start right there then. Let's start right there. School shootings. Of course they're horrible. What do you think could be a resolution to all of this?
So first and foremost, I think we should look at the cause. And typically the cause of these mass shootings is a child being alienated and bullied and made fun of, and feeling like they're being attacked. Mm-hmm. So now they want to take out their anger on everybody. Okay. So I do feel like bullying needs to definitely be something that the schools handle seriously and not just lightly, because a lot of times these kids are bullied not only in school, but then now with social media, they're bullied online. So it's kind of like they never escape it. And I also feel like parents need to be more involved in their children, with their children, and what's going on with them. That's the first thing. And then also, I feel like at the schools, there should be a trained security guard. I do not think teachers should be armed with guns, just because I just feel like even if they're trained for, a 6-hour session or 2 6-hour sessions, I don't feel like that gives them enough training to properly assess and handle a situation, without with a firearm, without possibly hurting someone who's innocent or reacting, irrationally, or if they're having a bad, there's a lot of things that can happen with that, and I don't think it should be put in their hands. I think it should be put in someone who works in that field and who is trained and has to continue training.
So you don't think, but think about it like this. If you're in a classroom and a kid pulls a gun out, you don't have time to call security.
Yeah.
And that should be the only reason why you touch that gun.
Well, it should, but it may not be the only reason. And who's to say you're going to have time to get to the gun if a student pulls out the gun and they see you reaching for yours?
Say that one more time.
Who's to say you're going to have time to pull out your gun, the teacher, if you see a student with a gun and they already see you reaching for yours? They're going to try to stop you. They're not. So my thing is, I just feel like, I don't know if there should be cameras in classrooms. I don't know if I don't know. That might be a little bit overboard, but cameras maybe in the hallways or something, because typically I don't know. I don't want to say something that I'm not 100% sure on. I just feel like there just needs to be protection for kids. And if that means having metal detectors, for entry, then so be it. What's the cost of you walking through with a metal detector? Walking through the metal. I can't even talk. Sorry, y'all. What is the cost of you just walking through a metal detector? How much is that really going to inconvenience you, and compared to your child's safety? I feel like your child's safety weighs greater than that small inconvenience to anyone.
That's true. I think the problem is people always like, oh, they shouldn't have to do it.
Yeah. And they shouldn't have to, and you're right. However, in the world we live in, guess what? You're only in control of yourself. So you can't control other people's actions, and you don't know what other people are going to do or what their mindset is. So,
yeah. See, my thing about it is, like, I get it. I do think that needs to be the first step. That should be the first step.
What?
All schools just getting metal detectors and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what the harm is. I went to school, we getting checked and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Getting lined up by lockers and classrooms and,
Yeah.
So
do you think it should be in every school?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah. I don't think any school should be exempt from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because from what I hear, and I'm not sure because I haven't done my own research deep into it like that, but from what I hear, these are happening in rural and suburban areas.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. These aren't happening in urban areas at all. So I don't know.
Okay, so I looked up this Gazette story. And it says the gunman entered the newspaper's office main entrance around 2:30 p.m., shattering the glass door with the first blast from his shotgun. Mm-hmm. He had already barricaded the room's only other exit, so they had nowhere to go. Okay? Mm-hmm. 11 people were in that room, and let's see. He fired twice as he entered, and he killed 5 of them. Let's see. He was found within minutes and surrendered without further violence. Okay. It doesn't really say why.
They said he was hiding. I think he ran out of bullets or something like that.
And then was hiding from them?
From the cops.
Okay. Well, it doesn't really explain why he did it. So, I don't know. That's the same one I was reading, I think.
Good.
Okay, honey. Well.
Yeah. If I'm correct, though, that's what it was for. What I said.
So defamation?
I think that's what it was for. Yeah.
And another thing is, so when we had the discussion yesterday, you were talking about you think educating people on owning guns would help this issue.
Yes.
Can you explain that?
All right. So, for instance, for this situation, thinking about it now, because we shouldn't have to carry a gun at work. Mm-hmm. I believe, why not have security guard at every workplace?
Do you know? So you don't think the news station has security guards?
Not if he just did that. And that's not just a news station. That's a newspaper place. They make newspapers.
Oh, okay.
So if he just walked in there like that and killed 5 people that easy, no. Mm-hmm. And none of these articles saying he killed the security guard.
No.
Or tied him up, whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. So no, they don't. But I do believe that every workplace should, because if we're not able to carry weapons, without anyone here, it leaves us open to anything happening.
So
all the
when
time.
You say every workplace, you mean McDonald's and
yeah, because nowadays you look at it like this: somebody knowingly go in to eat, McDonald's, or let them say not knowing or whatever, and something happened to them, they'll probably get mad and go shoot up a McDonald's.
You said let them say not knowing.
Yeah, not knowing the effects of what McDonald's food could be going on.
Wait, what?
No, I know it sounds stupid. I know it sounds so stupid, right? But people like that nowadays.
Okay, so let me summarize to make sure I'm understanding this right. You're saying let someone go in, eat McDonald's food, and then later find out,
or something like that,
and then go back angry because McDonald's food caused them to be sick.
Yeah, McDonald's food done fucked them up, and now they mad. The McDonald's don't care, and they don't got no money to fight McDonald's.
I mean, anything is possible.
You think it's funny, but I'm serious. People
I said anything is possible.
Yeah, people do anything now, but they just decide to go, hey, today I'm going to shoot up McDonald's, and I'm going to drive as fast as I can to hit as many as I can. Because what?
What, you talking about a drive-by?
If they go inside of a McDonald's and go shoot up enough people, they could get out their car and go run. Like, come on, think about it. A McDonald's area is not that big.
Okay. So what are you saying? If there was a security guard
I'm
exaggerating.
I'm exaggerating the story, but yeah, not most likely that it would have happened, but it's a chance. It's a chance that if he's armed, he could stop something like that.
Yeah, there's a chance. I don't know. That's tricky.
Don't get me wrong. They're gonna try to shoot him too, but you give a workplace a couple,
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna have 2 security guards at McDonald's. I just don't like. I see that. I see the thought behind it and how or why it could be beneficial. I just don't see that being realistic.
It's
to have
either
security guards at every workplace.
Look, it's either that or they gonna start having cops everywhere. You pick.
No, I don't think that, because all these shootings been going on.
Or they gonna take guns away.
Okay, yeah, that's what they're trying to do.
What you don't want though. That's the whole thing is you don't want that.
Speak for yourself. You can't say you don't want that. Who doesn't want that?
People shouldn't want that. People shouldn't want them to take guns away. Like, that's going into the Constitution. That's changing the whole Constitution.
That's true.
And I don't think people understand that. The thing is,
I don't think they
and
care.
my thing, no, you're right. Okay, and this is where I come in and I say that I think people need to be educated on what a gun can do, or the power of a gun, and not just look at it as a harmful weapon. Well, it's harmful on either end, but not look at it as, oh, if I have a gun, I'm a bad person. I'm gonna do harmful things with it.
I don't think that's what people are thinking, honey. I
think majority
don't think
of people do, and they're scared of them.
No, I don't think they might be. Some people may be scared of guns, but I don't think they say, "Oh, because you have a gun, you're a bad person."
No, but I think they associate bad activities or negative activities with guns.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only non-negative thing is going to a shooting range or shooting cans and stuff. But
or protecting yourself, that's not negative.
Well, yeah, or protecting yourself. However, if people are losing their lives because of guns, and also people who are against like hunting and stuff, so if you're killing animals with your gun, what benefit is a gun really?
So you
like, what's the So
that's like saying if somebody came in with a gun willing to kill someone else, and you're protecting yourself and kill them. Granted, okay, yeah, nothing good came out of it. Someone died, Mm-hmm. But what if that one person was willing to take your whole family life?
I get what you're saying. That's still nothing easy to live with.
Yeah.
For me, personally.
But that's the bottom line to me.
What?
Is that
you rather protect yourself even if it means taking a life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not going out there,
I'm not looking for trouble. You looking for trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's tricky. It's very tricky because guns, they can cause harm if they're in the wrong hands.
Exactly.
So I don't think that the right to not to own a gun, to bear arms, should be taken away. I don't believe it should. I just do feel like there should be more laws regulating, who's able to purchase a gun.
Yeah, and what I was speaking of yesterday was saying that, and maybe, it's saying that we should make guns really common, and maybe that's very exaggerated, but I was comparing it to 911. Is if generations and generations have knowledge of guns, it's just gonna be a gun. That's it. It's just gonna be a gun. We know that we could go to it during protection, during times that we need protection. Not just for any old reason.
But people will. That's the thing. Like, even though
people do now, though. That's the whole thing.
Okay, then. So how is education going to change that?
Okay, but education increases the chance of people being able to protect themselves.
Just because they know how to use it?
Just
because they know how to use it? But people have access to education of guns now.
Yeah, but like I said, they have access to it, but it's not being taught to us like how it's being taught to dial 911 if you're ever in danger.
So you think everybody should have a class on using guns? Like, that should be part of the school system?
With the rate that things are going right now, yes. Because think about it. Dialing 911 does not save you if you see somebody coming with a gun.
Okay, I get that,
but that's it. So
but
how
then
you
I
get
feel
out
like
of that?
you're because I feel like you saying that everyone should have the education of how to utilize a gun to protect themselves would support people saying, well, then no one should have a gun then, because if people don't want to have a gun, but in order to protect themselves, they feel like they may have to have one because other people who potentially may harm them have one. It just means, well, we could solve this whole issue by getting rid of all guns.
But that's because they scared to use one.
No, not everybody's scared. Some people just don't want to use a gun.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, because at the end of the day, it's because it's not normal to them.
No, babe. Some people just don't want to use a gun.
That's like saying...
Does everybody everybody, let's see, let me give a good example.
That's like
does everybody go swimming? No. Does everybody, like, there's things people just don't want to do, and it's not because of fear.
That's like somebody getting shot in front of the house and people just driving by, and then you ask them, why you didn't dial 911? I just didn't want to dial 911.
What?
That's crazy.
Some people actually say I'm just maybe minding my business. Like that. Just like how we talked last week about the Junior case, and everybody sat there and watched, but no one called.
Yeah, you're right. But maybe like this, okay? Maybe that was the wrong example. But think about it like this. What about if, in a sense of protection, right? Who in the world is not going to have a gun, right? And then going to be like, oh, I'm not going to call the cops because I don't want to.
I don't think that's a good...
it is. It's protection. It's protection.
That's not the only form of protection.
But the cops, the 911 is a form of protection. And if somebody coming at you with a gun, what else do you turn to? Okay,
and who's to say? You act like just because someone has a gun that they'll be able to protect themselves. Just because you have a gun... Okay, like, but just because you have a gun and someone's coming after you doesn't guarantee that, I'm going to be able to protect myself. Yeah, because a lot of the time, people don't even know that it's coming.
For me, I'm not guaranteeing protection.
So then, okay, well, if you can't guarantee protection,
I'm increasing the possibility.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we'll have to agree to disagree on that, because I see what you're saying. I do feel education of it. I do feel education of gun handling and, using guns without fear is something that, could help put people at ease about guns. Because I don't feel like the gun itself is just like the issue. It's the people behind the gun. That's the issue. However...
See, but that's the whole thing. We always going to have people like that. We always going to have a black market. We always going to have loopholes.
Yeah.
We always going to have...
And all the people that you educate, guess what? A lot of those people who may have not thought about using a gun, now that they're educated on it and they know how to properly use one, a lot of those people who may snap or whatever, makes them flip their wigs, they're going to start being able to utilize it properly. So it could be a double-edged sword doing it that way. So that's why I said, I do get what you're saying as far as education. However, I don't think that's the answer, as to stopping gun violence is the education of it. I don't think that really is it. So I know, guys, this is a touchy subject because, a lot of kids' lives have been lost due to gun violence, and a lot of the gun violence, all of it is unnecessary. And I wish there was a way that it could be avoided while people still are able to have their rights, because not everybody is out there to harm other people, but in everything you have your bad apples. So that one's a tough one, but let us know what you guys think about that, because we're partners and we're not 100% on the same page with it. Like, I do respect his opinion and I understand what he's saying. I just don't 100% agree with what he's saying.
But you would use one though, right?
I would.
Well, I would have not right, but go ahead.
I would we've been to the gun range before, and I would own a gun. I don't think I would carry it with me though in my purse. I probably would just keep it in the home, but I wouldn't carry it around with me. Yeah. So, yeah, that's.
I feel. Yeah, it depends on where I'm at. I guess I would keep it on my hip, but other than that. Keep it in the car.
You said you'd keep it on your hip?
Yeah. Depending on where I'm
at. Like where? For example?
Sometimes places where you just don't need to be.
And then exactly. Well, then that's the point. You don't need to be there. So remove yourself from that. Because see, if that's the case, you're putting yourself in danger, and then you're actually raising your chances of you having to utilize.
But it's just like what you say. But it's just like what you say though. You say this to me all the time. I'm not just gonna go somewhere because people they gonna do this, that, and the third. I'm not gonna be scared to do that. All right, I shouldn't have to worry about it. I say that in situations like the club, and I'm talking about like but I should be able to go
to me or something. I feel like I should be able to go somewhere and feel comfortable without worrying about a guy being disrespectful or something like that. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say, oh, let me go to a bad neighborhood where I know robberies are just at, high percentage in this area, and let me just go here and then not expect for nothing to happen. I'm not going to put myself in that type of situation.
And I mean, it's levels to it, Yeah,
but you just said somewhere you're not supposed to be.
Yeah, but it's levels to certain neighborhoods. I guess you can and you can't do that.
But where would you wouldn't even be in that type of neighborhood. So I just don't know what you're talking about.
You don't even know where I would be at.
Yes, I do. When would you have to be in that type of neighborhood? You wouldn't. See, you just talking the talk.
I'm not. Okay.
Yes, you would. Okay. So anyway, guys. So our dog, Kai, our dog is trying to get our attention and be in the middle in the mix of everything as usual. Lay down. All right. So anyway, that was, the discussion on that. Let us know what you guys think, because I know that is a very touchy subject and it's very prevalent today in today's society with all the shootings going on.
It is.
Yeah. So now, Kai, now let's talk about our health topic of the week. So last week, babe, I cut you off when you were going to talk about meditation. Okay. Remember? Yeah, we were talking about self-love, self-care, and meditation came up because that is definitely a great form of self-love and self-care. Meditation is, research has shown that meditation can help decrease anxiety, can help with headaches, depression. It's great for IBS even, so irritable bowel syndrome, chronic pain, asthma. Because a lot of those things are due to stress too. Oh. So like a lot of people with IBS, their symptoms flare up during stressful times. It also helps with high blood pressure. So meditation is amazing, and it's another tool that helps connect mind, body, and spirit. And there's different forms of meditation. A lot, when we first started, we did guided meditations. So that's basically where someone guides you through a meditation. Basically, they just talk you through it and you just listen and kind of follow what they say. So it could be imagery of just being in some peaceful place, like on the ocean or in the forest or something like that.
And I still actually do guided meditation.
Mm-hmm. And there's also mindfulness meditation, and that's when you're just in the now. That's when you're very present and you're just aware of like your breath, your body, and your mind is silenced. So that's mindfulness. There's also...
So that's just trying to be quiet and pay attention to your breath.
Mm-hmm. Your breath, your body. It's just like being very alert and attent to what's going on right now.
Okay.
There's also like mantra meditation where you can just repeat like a mantra, like I am love or something like that. And there's also different movement types of meditation. So there's Qigong, there's Tai Chi, and even yoga is a form of meditation. So there's just different ways that you can utilize it. And a lot of times if you start your day, and you can do it for 5 minutes just in the morning, just quiet your mind, 5 minutes to 30 minutes, however long you want to.
Yeah, I say work your way up.
Definitely work your way up. Mm-hmm.
It's challenging, actually.
For some people, not everybody.
No, I mean, not for everyone. You're right.
Yeah, but most of us. You're right. I think it's challenging for most of us because our minds are always on go.
Yeah, and just laying there or whatever, or sitting there, whatever, however way you choose to do it. Mm-hmm. But just being there with your eyes closed. Think about. Remember when we first did it? When we first started doing it, they had some for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and things like that. Mm-hmm. Man, 45 minutes is a long time. It is.
It is when you're on go all the time, and you're not used to just you're not able to fully quiet everything and just be there with yourself. Because then it becomes like 15 minutes in, 30 minutes in, and you're like, sheesh, it's not almost over yet? Like, you peeking to see if it's, if it's about to end.
I guess I get what you're saying. Enjoying being
there.
Yeah, you have to enjoy that.
So that's why I agree with you, babe, when you say, like, start off, work your way up to the longer times. Because it is a practice, just like anything. And it's great because it helps you focus on your breath so you take deeper breaths. Because a lot of times we breathe through our chest and it's very shallow breaths. But you're supposed to breathe through your abdomen to where when you take an inhale, your abdomen fills with air. You don't have to like be obnoxious with it. But you should put one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach. And when you take a breath in, your stomach should be moving, not your chest. And that's how you know you're getting a good breath to where it's filling up your lungs. Because a lot of times we don't do that.
Yeah. What she said.
Yeah. So meditation is really amazing. If you start your day with it, it can really change the trajectory of your day and help you, manage stressful situations and just have a better outlook on your day.
It's true. When I was doing it
consistently,
things felt good, but also I had more time available, I guess.
I think you still have the time now. You're just a chatterbox in the morning.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, when I wake up in the morning, I just automatically start doing my routine. If I don't start doing it, I'll never wake up. I swear, I'll never wake up, and I'll be like moving slow all morning and in a bad mood. And
no, hon. I think because I don't think you've ever tried. If you wake up in the morning, right, get out of bed, sit somewhere like in the living room or something, and do a 10-minute meditation, I don't think you'd be
asleep by 7.
He gets up at 5:30.
No, I said I'm gonna be asleep by 7 minutes.
Oh, well, you didn't say minutes. You just said by 7.
No, I know. You said 10. I said I'm gonna be asleep by 7. Yeah, by 7 minutes I'm gonna be asleep. And to me personally, I didn't want to say it when you mentioned starting off slow, but I don't think 5 minutes is worth it.
Why not?
Any amount of time is worth it. I take that back. During the day, like after I've already gotten my day going, I like 5 minutes. But in the morning and in the night, I like to have at least 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy longer periods of it too. It's just the more you do it, even if it's for a short period, the better at it you get.
Understandable. In the morning though, waking up, I'm going to go back to sleep.
So for you, then the morning isn't ideal for you to do it?
No.
Okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair. And like you said, so for you, maybe ideal is after or before you go to bed.
Yep, and fall asleep into the morning.
Well, maybe for you.
Nah. I got. It's just, you know me. I don't.
And also, all you've done is guided meditation. So you've never tried to meditate, like mindfulness meditation?
Yeah, I have.
When?
I didn't know there was a name for it, but I've tried it.
When?
I just lay down and just...
And that's your problem too. Well, not your problem, but that's what you just do all the time is lay down. Maybe you need to sit your behind up. Because all you do is lay down. And anytime you lay down, even if you're not meditating, you fall asleep. So, which you're tired, but yeah, maybe if you try maybe a different position, that might change something. Because if you wake up in the morning and you sit Indian style, and I don't know the name of that position. I know it's a yoga name for it. But if you sit Indian style and do it, I doubt you'd be falling over in 7 seconds. Oh, boy.
You're right. I have to just throw it in there.
Yeah. I think I need to as well. Because I haven't done it as much as I would like to. It's just a nice little habit to, introduce and continue doing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of benefits from it.
Life felt really good when I was meditating on a daily basis.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
It really did. Now that I think back to that time period when we were meditating every day.
I even think about where I'm at now with like my parents and you and things like that.
In a better space.
It started with that. It started with meditation.
Yeah. And really, it's not like anything that you have to pay for, you know, that you're buying something that's helping your life. It's really, exactly, like it's something free that is already within you that you just have to put your grasp on. It's your power to be present.
Free. It's easy. It's not easy, but you can learn.
Simple.
Yeah, you can learn. It's something simple. You don't need any extra equipment. And you gain knowledge. You become a stronger person.
It's that internal knowledge. It's that internal wisdom that's already within all of us. Most of us are just so busy that we don't even pay attention to it or listen to our instincts or, you know?
Yeah.
There's certain things that you just know, but you don't know that you know.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. And for me also, it's like when I'm going through stressful times, when I meditate, it helps me dig deep. So answers come about, for me when I meditate and things like that. If I'm able to, like I said, my 5 minutes during the day, I can just sit back and close my eyes and just relax and think about things, and some of the troubling things that I probably couldn't have, I couldn't really pull out right then and there. Just I don't know how to really explain it. But if I, just on my regular, just moving, if I can't really decide what I'm trying to do, I can sit back and meditate, and eventually my answer will come. Yeah, it'll just come out through my meditation.
Yep, and prayer. Prayer is another way, because you're, especially not if you're just like praying out of habit to where like you repeat the same thing, like sometimes I do for when we eat, like it's just I'll say the same thing, but also when we pray, like we'll add different things sometimes. And it's our intent. So when you pray and you're focused on exactly what you're saying, that's another form of meditation as well. So there's just many different ways of that you can that you can meditate and incorporate in your life, and there's different methods and different types of meditation. So let us know if you guys meditate and which type of meditation that you practice. I'm interested to hear.
Being that we're still on meditation though, and you said medicate, have you heard anybody mention meditation and marijuana during your certifications at all? Or have you ever read about it at all in any of your studies?
No, I haven't read about anybody. I'm sure people do it, and I'm sure for some people it may help them, like with focus.
What about other psychedelics?
I haven't read on it. I just haven't read on it.
It's not considered a psychedelic, is it?
Marijuana?
Yeah.
I mean, it has psychoactive components, but I don't think it's necessarily a psychedelic. But it can cause some people hallucinations, so possibly. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I haven't really looked into that realm of things, because that's just, I don't really look into that type of stuff. Yeah. So, but I would be interested to see and hear what people have to say about doing it, because I know for certain things, like even cannabis and certain medicinal psychedelics, as you name them. Well, no, that's how they're labeled. But certain psychedelics that a lot of them originally, a lot of them were originally used for spiritual things, and people just abuse them. So it would be interesting to see how people utilize them and the benefits that they get from them. And actually, I have a friend who did an herb for spiritual reasons that we could probably have on the podcast one of these days. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah.
Because I'm interested in possibly one day doing, what was it, LSD? The acid?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Why you made a face like that?
I'm just listening to you. We talked about it already, that you were interested. Why?
Why? Mm-hmm. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It just, out of all the things that I've seen, it seems interesting to me.
That's why you want to do it? Is because it seems interesting?
It's deeper than that. I mean...
That's what yeah. I feel like, because if you're going to do something like that, that could alter how you think or your...
I mean, it's... Exactly. So it does alter the way you think. It kind of... I think it helps with like somewhat of self-discovery and things like that. You know, just...
I think you also have to be in the right mindset.
No, you do. You do.
Like
you do. You
so
have to.
I think you've got to do some more research before...
I mean, what being in the right mindset has to do with the research? No,
you just need... Because you're not really explaining why you want to do it. So I feel like you just need to do more research on it before you...
Because I can't reiterate everything that I want to do. Everything that compelled me towards it.
I mean, well, you just haven't said anything. You just haven't said anything. I don't want to say meaningful, but like you just said, "Oh, because it sounds interesting to me," and I just feel like that.
That's one thing I said.
What else did you say?
You didn't hear me say the self-discovery part.
You said I heard, but that's not what you said when you said why you wanted to do it.
No, what? Yeah, I didn't go into detail. I didn't go on a long list of everything. But anyway.
And you shouldn't need a drug for self-discovery as well.
I know but I don't... It's not that. It's what does it offer. That's the thing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just think you need to... And I need to do more research if you're going to do something of that nature.
I mean,
that could alter your being. Because some people... I feel like some people use things like that for good reasons and with good intention. And you probably have good intention, but So, anyway, I don't know how... Oh, I know how we got on that subject. So, like I was saying, let us know if you guys have done any type of meditations. And make sure you just comment at the PowerTrip Podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Instagram. I'm not saying we're done yet. I'm just telling them to...
Oh. Sorry. Usually we do that at the end. But go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off.
Go ahead to the Power Trip of the week.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead to the Power Trip.
Anyway. Calm down. But the Power Trip of the week is... Well, basically... Alright, so earlier... This week, I had a customer at work tell me about parents going to interviews, job interviews, with their children. And let me rephrase that. But parents going with their kids to their kids' job interview, that they're attending the interview with their kids, basically helping them throughout the process.
So the reason why that we consider it as Power Trip of the Week is because the parents are basically, every parent wants the best for their children, and they want to make sure their kids, are successful. So to me, it's like they're power tripping because I feel like going to an interview for your child and with your child is kind of crossing that boundary. Because I don't think on the application or on the help wanted ad, they ask, you to bring your parent along. And the ages of these, they're not children, they're young adults. They're like in college. So it's people graduating from college. So that's 21 years old. Yeah, landing their first major jobs, and parents are going to their interviews. And it doesn't stop there. I read also that parents are sending in resumes for these for their children, and also if the child doesn't get the job, they're calling the job to follow up on why their child didn't get that job. So I feel like it's just kind of power tripping. Like, they're overstepping their boundaries. And I understand, you know, we're all nervous with our first interview, especially if it's like a big job that we really want to get. We want to make sure we're prepared. However, you have to be able to go out there and do it for yourself. You may not get it. You may mess up. You may look silly, but you try and you did it.
Exactly. That's how you learn.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how you learn. If you always have someone there with you to be that crutch for you, you're just never gonna get it.
Exactly. Like, honestly, if you need to take your parent to a job interview with you, you don't need the job. I think that's about it.
I wouldn't say they don't need the job.
No, you don't.
I don't. How would you say they don't need the job?
Well, excuse me, because I know how you take words, but I mean, you don't need to be applying for the job. You know, if you feel like you need to have your parent with you, then you're not in a position to be applying for jobs right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. You're not ready to have that type of career if your parent has to assist you on your interview.
There you go. Not have the career, but you shouldn't have the responsibility of a job if this is what has to happen.
Yeah. And I don't know, because I've never met anyone who's done that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know the thought process behind the parents or the child who are going to the interview. If it's because of fear, if it's because, like, I can't fathom. The only thing I could think of is that the child's nervous or anxious, so their parent goes to support them. But besides that, I can't think of another reason of why a parent would attend their child's interview. A parent could overstep the boundaries too. And just say, I'm going to come with you?
Yeah.
That's true.
I know it's parents that definitely do it. That feel like if they there, it raises the chances of their child probably getting a job.
Yeah. But that's... Wait, why would they think that?
Because they think they could coerce them, or if something is said, then they can be, oh, wait, but what about...
Oh, like they can fill in the blanks and make them look better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little things like that.
I would just think, as a parent, wouldn't you think you going there would be a bad look?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. I would think so. I don't know. Yeah, that's a real power trip to me.
One of my first interviews, I didn't even want my mom to really drop me off in the parking lot.
Really?
Yeah. It just felt some type of way.
Oh. Yeah, I think my first interview, I walked because it wasn't far from where I lived. But, yeah, I wouldn't have cared if my mom dropped me off because I was a teenager, so.
True.
Yeah. I think that's age appropriate.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so, yeah, that was our power trip of the week.
Yeah, and tell us what y'all think about that, because I think that's pretty weird. And I think also, but eventually maybe next episode we could kind of talk about how things like this are happening and society's kind of condoning bad behaviors and things like that. And it's also kind of pushing into the world being a little bit sensitive, if you ask me.
Yeah. So that'll be on next week's episode 3. So stay tuned for that. And, honey, you want to tell them where they can follow us at, since you wanted to save it till the end?
Oh, you always got some type of jokes. But anyway, you guys can follow us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram at ThePowerTripPodcast. Also, we would like to hear from you guys as well in our emails at ThePowerTripPodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you guys, like I said, click the follow buttons, subscribe. Also hit our comments as well.
All right, until next week. Later.
Peace.